Parley and Orson, of course, served as mission presidents. Parley's was in Europe, of course, but once the Saints got to Utah, Brigham tended to assign him more either in the United States or to the West Coast. He was assigned as the first sort of president of the Pacific Mission. He headquartered himself in San Francisco and made a short trip to Santiago, Chile. About starved to death down there. It was pretty tough on him. Catholic control of the country. They wouldn't let him print the pamphlets he'd prepared, and they wouldn't let him proselyte at all. And of course, lost one of his little babies down there. But in the process, learned Spanish, and when he got back to San Francisco, published the first Mormon tract in Spanish, which isn't well known. When he got back to San Francisco, he published a broadside, sort of a proclamation to the Spanish, just announcing to them that the gospel had been restored and that he authorized representatives were on the earth to explain and to perform the saving ordinances. He published, while he was in San Francisco, the first really defense of plural marriage. It's, again, not very well known. It was a broadside. The San Francisco newspaper editors were hitting the church pretty hard. And he published a response that defended Brigham Young's character against various charges of plural marriage, obviously, without exactly admitting to its practice, but saying, well, but this is a biblical practice, and what if he was? And that's months before his brother Orson was assigned by Brigham Young to make the official public announcement. So I like one of the stories that's told of that mission. When the first missionaries that reported to him as mission president came back from Hawaii, including George Buchanan, they came into the San Francisco Bay at the end of their missions. And Parley sent all the missionaries across the bay to find jobs working so they could raise enough money to get him back to Utah. But he kept George Buchanan with him. One, he knew Cannon was very bright and capable, and also he needed someone who could make a copy of what would later become known as his autobiography. And so Cannon was paid, I think, $50, if I remember the diary accounts right, to make a copy of Parley's autobiography as it had been written up to that time. And then in the evenings, they went off to the opera in San Francisco. So they were lots of culture there very early. And Parley, I think, always wanted that to be a part of his life and part of his family's life. And even with the toughness of the pioneering, he didn't want to forget the culture and the music and the drama that would be an important part of keeping a civilization alive. So I think of that with Parley as well.